Eureka College Basketball on ECTV is brought to you by City Blue Technologies in Peoria, your Epson first business partner offering precision core heat-free printing. Eureka College's official partner for sustainable printing. By Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka. And by Cornerstone Family Restaurant in Eureka.
Hello everybody, my name is Andrew Schulte. We're here with my co-host Drew Donnell here at Eureka College in the City Blue Technology broadcast booth as the Eureka College Red Devils face off against the Monmouth Scots. The Eureka College Red Devils are looking for their first win of the season as they are 0-2, dropping two very close games. And the Monmouth Scots are 2-0 as they've played two SLIAC teams and beat them both. This will be a big test for the Eureka Red Devils. Any thoughts for you, Drew?
Yeah, it'll be a big test for them. I think the biggest key for them is not letting the game slip away in the second half. Last game was definitely a winnable game for Eureka as they were leading by 5 after the first half against Beloit on Saturday. Then they ended up losing the game by 7. So it's all about, they know how to play a strong first half. It's all about playing an even stronger second half, not letting the foot get off the gas pedal. And it's all about keeping that momentum going into the second half. And it's also all about not being too aggressive. It's okay to be aggressive, but don't be too aggressive to where you're taking unnecessary fouls to where you're putting your team in jeopardy of losing easy points.
Yeah, this game will be a lot for the Eureka Red Devils as Monmouth has took both games against these SLIAC teams by a decent amount, 15 to 20 points each. And if we can beat them, that will show a lot for us going into the SLIAC play, and they'll get a very big confidence boost going forward. And we've had some key players like Ray Banzamuna, who had a great game last game, and Pee Wee Brown. Both had 20-plus points. If we can get more performances like that and our bench depth can do well, it'll be a great game.
That's right, Joel. I think it's going to be key for Eureka to keep the offensive rebound going. Last game, after the first half against Beloit, they out-rebounded their opponents by a lot. So it's going to be key for Eureka to keep the momentum going, especially on defense. It's going to be key for Eureka to stop Zay Brown on Monmouth.
He is averaging 22 points a game. If we can stop him, it'll be a good game. Eureka College is 6-7 all time against Monmouth, 5-2 at home. So we are in for a good game here today.
Welcome to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub, owned and operated by brothers Bob and Mike Mayo. Wendy Puff is located in the heart of Eureka and offers a warm and cozy atmosphere with a friendly staff. It's a great place to relax and savor a delicious meal. Here at Wendy Puff, we have a diverse menu to cater to every palate. Whether you're looking to enjoy a family dinner, catch up with friends, or study for your next test or complete that homework assignment, Wendy Puff will provide you with a positive experience and great food. Come as you are to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub.
Welcome to the
There's nearly 678,290,000 kids under 5 around the world. But what's so important about being 5? A lot, it turns out. Children who live to age 5 are twice as likely to reach adulthood. That's why vaccines matter so much. For 40 years, Rotary and partners have delivered vaccines globally. Like here, and even here. Impressive, right? But 12.5 million children are still totally unvaccinated. Rotary knows we can find them. Because when Rotary and Indian vaccinators looked for families at bus and train stations, used motorbikes, and trekked house to house, they lowered polio cases by 94%. See, it can be done, and the results are worth it. Let's ensure that all children grow up safe from preventable diseases.
Feel right at home at Eureka's own Cornerstone Family Restaurant. All-day breakfast, roasted chicken, daily specials, and homemade soups, along with a friendly staff, are here to serve you with smiles. Come in and enjoy Cornerstone Family Restaurant.
Did you know toner powder is actually powdered plastic? And Americans consume 100 million pounds of it each year. Epson Workforce Enterprise AM series printers are powered by simple, smart, and clean precision core technology, doing away with waste-making laser printer designs and parts that end up in landfills. So you can experience less wasting, more saving. Your Epson Business First partner is City Blue Technologies in Peoria, Eureka College's official partner for sustainable printing.
proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
When people ask us who we are, we tell them we're problem solvers, opportunity creators, community builders, and change makers. We are Rotary. Around the world, our network of 1.4 million neighbors, friends, and leaders volunteer their skills, expertise, and resources to solve issues and address community needs. We are people of action. Join us, and together, we can make an even greater impact. Find out how you can get involved at rotary.org/action.
And now we will send it courtside for today's starting lineups.
Now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Scots. A 6'1" senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 2, Jordan Hill. A 6'3" senior from Alpha, Illinois, number 10, Gannon Grieven. A 6-foot junior from Moline, Illinois, number 15, Kyle Taylor. A 6'6" sophomore from Peoria, Illinois, number 24, Zay Brown. And a 6'7" junior from Fort Byron, Illinois, number 40, Max Mehring. The Scots are coached by Todd Scribseth. Now let's meet the starting lineup for your Eureka Red Devils. A 6-foot sophomore from Washington, Illinois, number 5, Micah Brewer. A 6'2" senior from Peoria, Illinois, number 10, Pee-wee Brown. A 6'5" junior from Peoria, Illinois, number 14, Amarion Bird. A 6-foot junior from Terre Haute, Indiana, number 22, Amarie Wilson. And a 6'3" senior from Lisle, Illinois, number 32, Raymond Benzamuna Jr. The Red Devils are coached by Chip Wilde and assisted by Jessica Thorman and managed by Zoe Wilde.
As now we get ready for the tip, as it looks like it'll be Bird versus Mehring. As these two squads get ready to face off. This will be a great game as Eureka is 5-2 at home versus Monmouth and 6-7 versus them overall.
Yeah, I like the matchup here, especially as you mentioned, Andrew, that Eureka's 5-2 at home and they're playing at home right now.
This would be a good way to start off their first win in front of this big crowd as the Scots win the tip. Greenman with the 3. Misses. Pee-wee Brown with the rebound. Pushing the ball up the court. Here comes Wilson. Wilson with the ball. Wilson with the little crossover move. Finds Banzamuna. Bird with the screen. Banzamuna on the drive. Kicks it out to Brown. Brown surveying the court. Finds Bird. Bird on the drive. Kicks out the the 3 ball to Brewer. And here comes the Scots pushing it up the floor. Taylor with the ball. Taylor's up front. Pee Wee Brown goes for the steal. It's out of bounds, and it goes the Scots' way. Pee Wee Brown really thought that was Eureka's ball right there.
I like the pressure we're seeing early. This is the pressure we need in the second half, like we said before. Eureka was up by 5 going into the end of the first half, and they ended up losing by 7.
We need to get
an absolute heartbreaker the way the game ended last game.
And Eureka with that one, as the pressure you were talking about, gets to the Scots early. Brewer going to be inbounding it here. We need to get this momentum going with this crowd here.
That's right. And Raymond Bazamuna Jr. and Pee Wee Brown are 2 guys that can really ignite this offense for the Red Devils.
Brown with the ball at the top of the key. Finds Brewer. Bird with the screen on the roll. Finds Bird. Kick out to the corner. Bazamuna for 3. Little short there. As Brown coming up the court, averaging 22 a game for the Scots. He floats it up, and it goes. The size might be a little bit of a factor here, as the Scots are a tad bit bigger than the Devils, and that's been a problem all year for the Devils. Bird with the turnover, as here comes Hill pushing it up for the Scots. Hill drives it. The layup's no good, but he is fouled. That would be Wilson with the foul.
As you mentioned, Andrew, that's the tough part with Eureka is they tend to foul a lot, and mainly that's because lack of discipline. It's also, like you said, is the size difference between their opponents.
Hill at the line shooting 2. The size factor is a big deal, as the Scots' tallest player is 6'7", and the Red Devils' tallest player is 6'5". We tend to be undersized most every game. And that's just something we got to work with. We got to start running and gunning and keep that pressure up like we've been talking about.
And it's not a bad thing that Eureka's undersized, because they still manage to, even the games that they lose, they still keep it close.
Yeah, and Hill goes 2 for 2 as the line, as here comes Wilson bringing it up for the Red Devils. Finds Bazamuna. Bazamuna kicks it over to Brown. Brown surveying the court. Here comes a screen from Bird. Bird on the pick and pop to the corner for 3. Off the front of the rim, as Brown gets another rebound for the Scotsons, pushing it up. Step back. Loose. And a foul on the Devils, it looks like. I believe it's on Bird. I'm not sure what happened there under the rim. But
it looked like the ref signaled it was against Pee Wee Brown.
Was it against Pee Wee Brown? As the Scots get the ball out underneath the basket. And that will be Kyle Taylor taking it out for the Scots. I'd watch out here for Zay Brown off the inbound. As they find him, they find Zay Brown at the top. He loads up for 3. Misses it long. Gets his own rebound. Kicks it out to Taylor. Taylor drives in. Kicks it out. Finds Zay Brown again. Little pump fake. Takes it to the rim. Layup. Misses it. Back out to Hill. Hill for 3. Bang. Hits it. Wilson taking it up for the Red Devils. Yeah. Scots are out to a 7-0 lead early.
With the size difference, the rebounding is going to be a very important factor for Eureka. As we mentioned earlier in the pregame, Eureka out-rebounded Beloit going after the first half was over, both on defense and offense.
And with us being undersized, we need to be able to get those rebounds, box out. Rebounding is such a key part of the game. Foul on the Scots there.
And especially draw fouls on offense. Make the defense work.
Wilson inbounding it. Finds Brewer in the backcourt. Brewer taking it up. Brewer kicks it to Brown. Brown had 21 last game against Beloit. Brown working on the post. Fade away from the corner. Missed it long. As here comes Greenman. Kicks it to Hill. And there's an offensive foul, as here comes the Red Devils getting the ball. We need to take advantage of these turnovers.
Yeah, field goal percentage has been a struggle for Eureka, as this year Eureka's only shooting 39% from the field and only 27% from three-point range.
We need to get that proverbial lid off the top of the basket. As Brewer gets the ball in the corner. Bird sets a screen, finds him down low. Bird has the ball by the block, working on Merling. Goes in, and Merling with the block shot. Merling finds Brown. Brown's in some trouble with the pressure from the Eureka defense. They back off and finds Hill. Hill dribbling up the top of the key, finds Mehring. Mehring finds Brown. Brown's going to be the focal point of this offense if we need to limit him as much as we can. Hill driving in on Pee Wee. And that shot is long on the layup. Bird with the rebound, falling. Gets it to Wilson. Wilson pushing it up for the Red Devils. Here he comes, finds Banzamuna. Banzamuna on the drive. And then he gets stripped, but he gets it back. Pee Wee Brown. Pee Wee Brown going up, trying to draw a foul. And the layup, and gets the layup. 3-on-1 there against Brown. Did not matter. We need to finish those more often, don't you think, Drew?
Didn't matter indeed, as Pee Wee Brown had 3 guys surrounding him, was still able to put it in. And sometimes size doesn't matter, especially a guy like Pee Wee Brown, not a huge guy, able to weave his way into those holes that most big guys can't.
As Brown draws a foul on Banzamuna. Here, Hill on the inbound. Swings it over to Greenman. Greenman's 3 is long. Wilson with the rebound, pushing up fast pace for the Devils. Here he comes. He surveys the court, finds Bird for a long 3. Bang! Hits
bang,
it.
Bang, bang.
Carry on Bird. That's how you get the momentum shifted right there. Good layup finish and a good pass right there to find Bird wide open at the top of the key for the Devils. We need to make those shots all night. Mehring has the ball at the top of the key. Loses it. Wilson with the steal. Bird with the deflection. Wilson up to Pee Wee Brown, who goes up and gets the and one.
Oh, Pee Wee Brown, don't you do that.
And now we're getting that momentum built up, and we are going. As Pee Wee Brown with the big and one, and the crowd is loving it here. I believe that foul was on Hill under the basket. Pee Wee Brown shot 4 out of 10 free throws last game, shooting 40% from the line last game. He needs to get those numbers up here. He did that against Beloit on Saturday.
Yeah, the momentum all started with the Marion Bird knocking down that 3.
And Brown makes his free throw right there.
As he only had 4 points the last game, so he's off to a great start this game.
Taylor bringing it up for the Scouts as Eureka goes to a little full court pressure defense here. Hill
and against a team that's much bigger than you, that's what you need to do is a full court pressure.
And Zay Brown draws the foul as he'll be going to the line to shoot 2. And that was against, I believe that was against the Marion Bird down low. And coming in for the Scots was DeClane Flynn. Came in that last one during that Pee Wee free throw. Zay Brown at the line for 2. His first shot is no good. Zay Brown's a very good player, averaging 22 points a game. We need to be able just to slow him down, limit him. You're not going to stop him. Limit guys like that. You got to limit their best players. Sam DeJesus comes in for Marion Bird.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of double team action against Zay Brown.
He's also got that height advantage, like we've been saying. He makes the second, going 1 for 2 from the line. Wilson bringing it up for the Red Devils. Finds Banzamuna. Banzamuna to Brewer. Brewer. Oh, what a crossover move. Goes in, passes, finds DeJesus. DeJesus for 3. Long. What a move by Brewer to get into the paint and find DeJesus open for the 3.
Yeah, like we said before, it doesn't take that big size to weave around like that.
Brown for 3. Long. Wilson with the rebound. Throws a baseball pass to Banzamuna down the floor. Gets blocked. Gets blocked by Cameron Thomas, and the Scouts from the Eureka Red Devils get it back. Brewer, mid-range. Gets it.
Good job by Banzamuna to not give up on the play. Got his own rebound. Was able to find Micah Brewer.
As Taylor brings it up for the Scouts. Finds Brown. Brown. And Wilson with the steal and gets fouled. Cameron Thomas with the foul for the Scouts there. As that pressure defense from Eureka really playing dividends here early.
Yeah, they were so good at that last game. That's what majority of their fouls came from, was pressure on defense and then transition into offense.
And when we get those turnovers, we need to capitalize on them against this good team, this good Monmouth team. Wilson bringing it up for the Devils. Banzamoon up top. Finds Sam DeJesus. Sam DeJesus with the underneath pass to Banzamoon as he gets blocked by Zay Brown from the back. And here comes Hill. Hill passes to Zach Taylor in the corner. Taylor, long. And Wilson with another board. Throws it up for Pee Wee Brown, who's by himself. And misses the layup there as he thought there was a foul. Hill pressuring it up. Here comes Hill on the layup. Strips and falls and still gets it to fall. Wilson for the Red Devils bringing it up. Here he comes pressuring in. Straight to the paint. Kicks it out to Banzamuna. Banzamuna finds Brewer. Brewer dribbling it into the paint. Kicks it out to Wilson. Wilson dribbling it in the corner. Little turnaround J. Not good. As Sam DeJesus goes in, tries to rebound, but it goes to the Scouts. As here comes Taylor bringing it up for the Scouts. Flynn screen right. Taylor does not use it. Finds Flynn. Flynn with the three. And he hits it short. Misses short. Wilson with another board. Wilson's been all over the glass here early.
Yeah, that's why the Red Devils are able to transition into offense from defense, because he gets so many boards, especially on that last play when he hucked a long one to Pee Wee Brown.
He's just active. Pee Wee Brown mid-range. Bang! Gets it. Good shot mid-range there from Pee Wee Brown. Taylor bringing it up for the Scouts.
Well, Zay Brown's going to be a problem for Eureka, but Pee Wee Brown's going to be a problem for Monmouth.
And that's what we need to see out of him. We need to see that intensity. Him and Wilson have been doing really good on defense.
Pee Wee Brown's just one of those guys who is the definition of size does not matter.
Thomas finds Brown in the paint. And here comes a double team on Brown as he gets pushed down. No foul called. Kicks it out to the top to Taylor. Taylor dribbling in. Here comes his mid-range. No good. Pee Wee Brown with a big defensive rebound on Zay Brown. Now Pee Wee's bringing it up for the Red Devils. Finds Wilson. Wilson to the top of the key. Finds Banzamuna. Banzamuna finds Brewer. Brewer with the pump fake. Here comes DeJesus on the screen. Brewer wide open for three. Misses wide right. As that is Flynn with the rebound. Flynn bringing it up for the Scouts. Finds Hill. Timeout, Scouts. They were not liking what they were seeing there with that Eureka pressure.
Yeah, they got off to a really good start, and then Eureka did not let that affect them. They put a lot of pressure on Monmouth on both sides of the court, and especially as you mentioned about...
And we are going to head to a commercial break here at Eureka College.
Did you know toner powder is actually powdered plastic, and Americans consume 100 million pounds of it each year? Epson Workforce Enterprise AM series printers are powered by simple, smart, and clean precision core technology, doing away with waste-making laser printer designs and parts that end up in landfills. So you can experience less wasting, more saving. Your Epson Business First partner is City Blue Technologies in Peoria, Eureka College's official partner for sustainable printing.
And we are back here at ECTV Scouts Ball as Eureka leads 12-10. Taylor finds it through the middle to McNally. Finds Thomas. Thomas on the drive-in with the layup, and he gets it to go. Here comes Gonzalez for the Red Devils. Gonzalez taking to the right side of the court. Finds Provost. Provost finds DeJesus. DeJesus to Banzamuna. Banzamuna at the top of the key. Drives in. Good move there. Loses it. And gets fouled. Eureka ball under the baseline. Brennan McNally in for the Scouts. And that was Cameron Thomas picking up the foul on Banzamuna. Gonzalez under the rim, taking it out for the Devils. Finds Provost in the corner. Provost driving baseline, working on the Scouts defender. Finds Ben Carter. Ben Carter driving in, loses the ball. Gonzalez on the floor, fighting for it. And it is a jump ball.
Surprised there's no foul call. It sounded like we heard a loud whack from up here in the booth, but no foul called, but still Eureka has the ball under the baseline.
Eureka retains possession as Gonzalez is taking it out. Would not be surprised if they found Ben Carter here on this play for a three. Find Provost in the corner once again. Provost working on his defender, driving in. Needs help. Finds Ben Carter. Ben Carter thinks about it. He pulls it. Defender in his face, and it's long.
Had to get it off there. Shot clock was run out of time there.
Taylor bringing it up for the Scouts. Finds McNally. Or, excuse me, that's Flynn in the corner with DeJesus on him. Huber with the ball. Throws it up for Thomas just a little too long. Gonzalez, little Euro step, and could not get that layup to go. Thought there might have been a little contact there, but nothing called. Here comes McNally, and he finishes the layup there. Gonzalez moving the ball up the court. Finds DeJesus. And DeJesus finds Ben Carter. Ben Carter working on McNally. And Ben Carter is called for a travel. Those are the kinds of turnovers we need to eliminate going forward in this game.
That's right. It's about staying disciplined, not only on offense, but also defense. Being able to not take unnecessary fouls and being able to, like you said, limit those turnovers on offense as well.
And Scouts has the ball. As here's top of the key three by Huber, and he misses. Here comes Johnson with the rebound, pushing up for the Devils, finds Provost. Provost driving in again. He is double teamed in the paint. Finds Ben Carter in the corner. Ben Carter, corner three, hits
bang, bang,
it. Hits
Ben
it for
Carter.
the Devils. Ben Carter, such a great three-point shooter, such a great weapon to have. As here's Taylor driving it up again. Finds McNally to Thomas. To Flynn. Flynn at the top of the key. Finds Taylor again. Taylor driving in. Loses the ball. They are on the ground. And DeJesus comes up with it, but he loses it back to Taylor. And the Scouts calm it down, slowing it down here. As here's Thomas. Thomas, jumper, no good. DeJesus with a big defensive rebound there.
Yeah, DeJesus was all over Monmouth on that possession.
Provost in trouble here. Finds DeJesus at the top. Ben Carter, who just hit that big three from the corner, driving in, slips, and gets called for a travel. That's just unfortunate right there for Ben Carter.
Nothing he could do there. And like you said, truly unfortunate. But we still got the lead, still got up by one. Just got to keep it fast-paced when we're on offense and slow it down when we're on defense.
Jordan Hill checked in for the Scouts again. He is bringing the ball up for them. Finds McNally to Flynn at the top of the key. Marion Bird's back in the game for the Devils, guarding Flynn. Jalen Johnson on Thomas. Thomas working the ball to Hill. Hill driving in, and he gets the layup to go. Gonzalez driving the ball up. Finds Marion Bird wide open, but now he's got two people on him. He needs to kick it out. Finds Ben Carter. Ben Carter for three. Misses it long. Out to Provost. Thought about it. Kicks it out to Bird. Bird for three. Misses it long. Back out to Provost. These are good offensive rebounds. Good chances for the Devils. They need to capitalize. Provost driving in. Kick off to Bird. What a pass to Bird. Provost to Bird.
Great pass by Jackson Provost.
That is a great look right there. Bird with a great finish as well, but Provost with that pass, man, that was a beautiful pass.
It's the rebounding we've been talking about. I mean, there's a ton of chances where Monmouth could have easily gotten the ball back after some of those missed threes.
Wow, and that was Flynn tried to pass it to Hill, but hit his guy in the head and got an easy layup out of it. Just unfortunate turn of event there for the Devils. Carter, Johnson, back to Carter. Carter thinks about it, finds Johnson. Back to Provost. Provost who had that great pass to Bird. Now Bird setting the screen for Provost. Provost on the drive in. Ben Carter for three. In and out. Jalen Johnson with a big offensive rebound in the paint. To Provost, wide open at the top of the key. Cannot get it to fall. Hill with the rebound for the Scouts.
It's going to be tough for the Red Devils to score down low with the size differential, so it's important that we're able to knock down these wide open threes.
And an unforced turnover there on Jordan Hill. Monmouth coach cannot be happy about that as he went behind his back and the ball bounced off his foot and out of bounds. An unforced turnover there. A gift, you'd say, for the Red Devils here.
Always got to take the gifts any way you can.
As Andrew Coker checked into the game for Ben Carter. Ben Carter had that big corner three. Provost finds Gonzalez, top of the key. And here's Jalen Johnson, who had a big offensive rebound in that last Coker for three. In and out. As here comes Hill, bringing it up for Monmouth. getting that defensive pressure by Eureka is doing really well, especially early in the game.
And it has to stay that way the entire game.
And Thomas drives in on Johnson and finds the glass and finds the bucket. That was a good move there by Thomas. Gonzalez kicks it over to Coker. Coker finds Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson gets him in the air, pump fake, and gets the foul called on Thomas.
Almost an and one there.
That was a great way to draw a foul. Got him up in the air, went into him, and shot the ball. So that's technique basketball right there from Jalen Johnson. We love to see that.
So on defense for Eureka, they got to make sure they protect down low in the paint with the size differential. The Scouts are going to go down low a ton and make the Red Devils defense work down low. Probably won't see them shoot for three a lot.
Jalen Johnson missed his first free throw. He needs to knock down the second one. And the second one is short, and the Scots come up with the rebound. It's Hill. Bring it up. And get pressure from Gonzalez, and Gonzalez forces them to almost turn the ball over. He gets it on the ground and gets it back. As this Eureka defense is pressuring very well.
It's been pretty physical by both teams.
Banks has the ball down low for the Scots. Looking, he's in trouble. Finds Hill. Hill getting a screen from Brown. Hill, top of the key three, hits it. That screen from Brown really set that three up.
Yeah, that was a key screen there, textbook screen. Hill had all the time in the world to shoot that three.
Provost gets it stolen by Hill. Good steal by Hill as Provost was trying to drive his way into the paint there. Hill bringing the ball up for the Scots. Finds McNally. McNally down low to Banks. Banks working on Jalen Johnson. Kicked out to Brown. Brown thought about it there. He's going to pull it and misses in and out. Good rebound there by the point guard Gonzalez. Pushing the ball up the court. Finds Provost. Provost driving, slipping, falling, and he is in trouble as a jump ball going to Monmouth. Just unfortunate there. It slipped and fell.
Yeah, we also saw that with Ben Carter when he was out there. Tried to drive down low, and he's ended up slipping and falling for a travel.
But you got to love what they're trying to do. They're drive in, kick out.
Oh, absolutely. They're trying to do the dirty work and be aggressive, even with the size difference.
And here comes Monmouth. As they're driving the ball in, finds it Brown. Brown goes in, gets the layup to fall. Gonzalez bringing it up for the Red Devils. Gonzalez slowing it down, finds Coker. Coker over to Provost. Provost to Pee Wee Brown. Pee Wee Brown trying to drive in. He's got Brown on him. Imarion Bird at the top of the key. Gonzalez, little mid-range floater. Gets it to go, gets the lucky roll there. We needed that one. As Hill bringing it up for the Scouts. McNally, has the ball. Almost lost it. He's working on Coker. Gets a good spin move.
What a move.
Great move there by McNally. Gonzalez bringing it up for the Red Devils. Find Provost. Provost telling him to cut in. Finds Amarion Bird. Bird down low to Brown. Brown, spin move, kicks it out. Corner three, no good by Coker.
Oh, it's stolen by Brown.
Good play. Brown always has those active hands, which comes into play here. And jump ball stays with the Eureka as Brown tried to dribble into him. Brown ended up getting the ball away, but the whistle has already been blown at that point. As Wilson checks in the game for the Devils along with Brewer. Wilson taking the ball out underneath for the Devs.
Yeah, last time Wilson was out there, he was all over the floor.
He was. He finds Brewer on the wing. Brewer finds it. Bird. Good spin move. Goes up and under and
what a
in.
move by Bird.
That's a way to take the bigger defender and just take him out of the equation by spinning off him. The Scots got the ball. Brown surveying the court. Puts it on the ground. Thinking about dribbling in. Takes the midi. Misses wide left. Wilson with another board. Bird. Oh, he tried to pass it out to Brewer, who was wide open, but lost his footing and resulted in the ball being thrown wide left of Brewer.
It's those little mistakes we can't keep making. Seen a lot of footing issue, especially from Micah Brewer and Ben Carter.
As here comes Taylor bringing it up for Monmouth. Brewer up pressuring him. As the Red Devils have been doing that early with their with the guys bringing it up from Monmouth, they've been pressuring them right off the gate. Hill thought about a three. Got him up in the air in the pump fake. Shoots a three. In and out, and Pee Wee Brown with a big rebound there. As he is pushing the ball up the court for the Devs. Here comes Pee Wee. Pee Wee driving baseline. Goes into the defender and gets called for a charge. Pee Wee is not happy with that call. As Pee Wee picks up another foul.
Yeah, like we said before, you can be aggressive on offense and defense, but you can't be too aggressive and get careless where you take those kind of fouls.
Excuse me, that is his first foul of the half, or of the game. But still, we cannot be being over-aggressive like that, as Taylor taking it up for the Monmouth. And Brewer on him. Taylor almost lost his dribble. I kind of like the way the Devils are playing a little full-court defense here. And they're picking them up man-to-man.
Yeah, can't let them get too comfortable. That's the big key for this game.
Wilson on Hill. Hill. Brown with the big screen. Hill on top of the key three. Hits it again. It's again with that screen from Brown.
Yeah, going to see that screen a lot as Brown's one of their biggest guys on the court. And they're going to find Hill all the time as he's almost automatic when he has time and space.
Coker drives in and gets the floater to fall. That's a good way of finishing there over a defender. As here comes Taylor bringing it up for the Scouts again. Banks driving in. Oh, and Coker falls on him, and that will be a foul on the Devils. Andrew Coker picking up the foul. And Taylor's taken out underneath for the Scots. As here comes Ray Banzamuna in for Coker.
It's going to be up to Banzamuna and Pee Wee Brown to lead this Eureka offenses and defenses. Both had a double-double last game against Beloit.
Banks is wide open for three on the wing. Hits it. As that, the Scouts improved their lead to 10 points, 33-23. The Red Devils need to respond here and get some points going on a little run like they did before. Bird driving in. Bird finds Banzamuna. Banzamuna back out to Bird. Bird kicks it to Pee Wee. Pee Wee for three. Misses long. Bird almost got the offensive rebound. Falls in the hands of Taylor as Taylor is pushing it up. Taylor for three. Misses it. Wilson, another board. Wilson passes it to Brewer. Brewer back to Wilson. Wilson working on his defender. Mid-range. Missed it long. Greenman with the rebound for the Scots. Pass it back to Hill. Hill going to bring it up for him. They're slowing the game down here because if you notice, when the game was going pretty fast and they didn't slow it down, the Red Devils were taking advantage of those opportunities, so the Scots decided to slow it down here. Brown in the middle. And he travels, and the Red Devils get the ball. They need to take advantage of those turnovers here.
Yeah, can't let it get out of hand any more than this. Being already down by 10 with about a minute and a half left in the first half of this game.
And Sam DeJesus comes in for Bird. And the Red Devils call a timeout. We're going to send it to break here on ECTV. Come back for more here at ECTV in the City Blue Technologies broadcast booth.
Eureka's own Cornerstone Family Restaurant. All-day breakfast, roasted chicken, daily specials, and homemade soups, along with a friendly staff, are here to serve you with smiles. Come in and enjoy Cornerstone Family Restaurant.
Welcome to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub, owned and operated by brothers Bob and Mike Mayo. Wendy Puff is located in the heart of Eureka and offers a warm and cozy atmosphere with a friendly staff. It's a great place to relax and savor a delicious meal. Here at Wendy Puff, we have a diverse menu to cater to every palate. Whether you're looking to enjoy a family dinner, catch up with friends, or study for your next test or complete that homework assignment, Wendy Puff will provide you with a positive experience and great food. Come as you are to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub.
Welcome back here on ECTV as Wilson's bringing it up for the Devils. Wilson surveying the court. At the top of the key, finds Banzamuna. Banzamuna finds Brewer under the rim. Brewer trying to find somewhere to go with the ball as he finds Wilson at the top of the key. Wilson to Pee Wee Brown. Pee Wee driving in, forces the shot up, and gets the foul called. Pee Wee Brown to the line to shoot 2. I believe that is on number 23, Banks, who picks up the foul there for the Scots. We need Pee Wee Brown. We need to be more efficient from the free throw line as a team, as we can't let these free points just go.
That's right, and that's where a good amount of Pee Wee's points actually came from the last game, was working the defenders of Beloit down low, and that caused drew a lot of fouls, and he got a lot of points from the line, and fortunately he misses both right there. And that's going to stay down.
As Brown fumbled the rebound and stepped out of bounds when he went to get the ball. That is a big break for the Devils, especially since we just missed those 2 free throws. Now we have a chance to get those points back. But going forward, we need to take advantage of those free throws, and we can't let those trips down the court go empty, especially when you're at the line. Brewer at the top of the key, working on Hill. Finds Pee Wee on a great back cut. Foul, and 1
for Pee Wee Brown.
And 1 for Pee Wee Brown. Always so good at getting to the rim and causing chaos and making fouls for the other team. And that one is on Zay Brown underneath.
That's what Pee Wee needed after missing those 2 shots at the line.
And he is back to the line for the and 1. And he makes that one. There we go. That was a good trip down the court. And that turnover from the Scots really helped us there. As here comes Flynn bringing it up for the Scots. Flynn working on to Jesus. And Pee Wee Brown
by
with the
Pee Wee
steal.
Brown.
Pee Wee Brown always has those active hands going. And Wilson bringing it up. Pee Wee has the ball. Top of the key. Finds Banzamuna. Banzamuna pulls the 3. Misses long. Flynn with the rebound for the Scots. Taylor slowing it down for Monmouth as he's bringing up. Flynn with a big screen on Micah Brewer. Taylor into the paint. Kicks out to Hill. Hill going to bring the ball back out and slow it down.
I was going to say, don't be surprised if you see a screen from Zay Brown there when Hill had the ball.
They have 9 left on the shot clock, 20 on the clock. Brown, fade away over Pee Wee. Flynn with the big offensive rebound. There is no more shot clock in this half. You would have to think that they're going to slow it down as Ray Banzamuna gets caught reaching. Got his hand stuck in the cookie jar there, and he's going to get called for that every day. But the ball was loose there, so I don't blame him for going into it. But now we are in the bonus, and that sends Zay Brown to the line.
Tell you what, always hated when my mother slapped my hand out of the cookie jar when I was 4.
It is a 1-and-1, I believe. This ball could go back to Eureka, and we could end on a good note here. As he misses the rebound, but Banzamuna gets it. Pee Wee Brown, 8 seconds left, pushing the ball up the court for the Devs. Sam DeJesus sets the screen. 3. Pee Wee Mitty gets it to go. That is a good way to finish the half for the Devils. Now they are only down by 5 instead of what would have been a 10-point game without the and 1 and that mid-range bucket there to close it out. Instead, now we are down by 5 going into halftime. And on a good note, 5 unanswered points back-to-back like that, Pee Wee feeling himself going into halftime.
Yeah, obviously not the start to the half they wanted to have, but the ending was promising. As you said, they're only down by 5, and Pee Wee Brown with an unbelievable display of just defense and ball handling.
If the Devils can get more depth going into the second half, they will be just fine, and they need to keep that same intensity going. We can't just lean on the same players to score and take care of the ball. We need a group effort. The guys from the bench.
That's right. All 5 guys need to absolutely work over their bigs.
Now we will send it to a break here on ECTV.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had, and you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
There's nearly 678,290,000 kids under 5 around the world. But what's so important about being 5? A lot, it turns out. Children who live to age 5 are twice as likely to reach adulthood. That's why vaccines matter so much. For 40 years, Rotary and partners have delivered vaccines globally. Like here, and even here. Impressive, right? But 12.5 million children are still totally unvaccinated. Rotary knows we can find them. Because when Rotary and Indian vaccinators looked for families at bus and train stations, used motorbikes, and trekked house to house, they lowered polio cases by 94%. See, it can be done, and the results are worth it. Let's ensure that all children grow up safe from preventable diseases.
Welcome to the Eureka Red Devils halftime basketball show. I'm Drew Deneau here with head softball coach Jewel Hodges. Jewel, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
So I want to first start by asking, how did you get into softball, and what was your journey like becoming the head coach here at Eureka College?
Absolutely. I've played softball my entire life. Out of high school, I played at a junior college in Central Illinois. Once I was done playing there, I transferred to the University of Tennessee, where I finished my undergraduate degree. I spent some time working within the softball program there. And then from there, I went on to continue studying and went to Ohio University to do a master's in coaching education. I spent 2 years on staff at Ohio University as a volunteer assistant. And, once I graduated, I came home, and it was right around COVID, and the job opened up here, and it all got just kind of aligned for me.
So what about Eureka kind of made you narrow down that you want to come here, and what did you like about this school?
Yeah, the first and foremost is the Eureka community it's kind of unmatched. You can walk into the Commons, or you can walk into any building, and someone's excited to see you and is going to greet you with a smile. That was the biggest thing for me, is finding a place where the community sense was strong. Additionally, the softball program, has been very successful. It's a great program that, the previous coaches have built, and stepping in, it was something that I felt like I could continue to build.
So, into the culture standpoint of, sports or even softball, how important is it to build a strong culture here within, softball?
Absolutely. Very important, our program is based strictly around family, and, building the culture, the positive culture for us, and bringing in athletes that are going to buy into that is extremely important. We often talk about, building relationships and building kind of that environment off the field, makes things on the field a lot easier. So, like I said, our program definitely stems around, family and, a sisterhood for us.
So I know that in 2023 you were very heavy on the recruiting process, bringing in about 23 players. How important is the recruiting process this year going into the 24-25 season?
Yeah, this year we had a smaller class. However, we brought in very crucial transfers. We have a big transfer class, my colleague Chip Wilde says, you win with transfers, you win with juniors and seniors. And so, kind of took that and ran with it a little bit this season. So, we're heavy on the upperclassmen side. So, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be great.
And building on the upperclassmen side, how important is it for your juniors and seniors to be guiders and mentors for the freshmen and sophomore that are just coming in or transferring from other colleges.
Absolutely. It's huge. You know, they kind of set the, you know, they kind of pave the way for the younger athletes. We have a 5th-year senior, Bria Wessel, 3rd-year captain. She's going to do great things for us leadership-wise, but we also have a couple other seniors, Mackenzie Daniels, that's been an all-conference player a couple years in a row, that's going to lead us, you know, on the field a little bit. So the leadership roles are very important. They set the standard for us, and we talk about it a lot.
And off the field, how important is it to kind of build a relationship with your players off the field, knowing that, you know, you'll always be there for them and you always have their back off the field?
Yeah. You know, one thing that I like to say as a coach is I'm a player's coach, and that could be, you know, on the field, but I really like to emphasize it off the field. So, you know, I spend a lot of time, you know, building relationships with my players. In terms of, you know, the open door policy, you know, a lot of them will just come in and sit in my office and just talk, which is great. But I always tell them, you know, when they are here, they're my obligation and my priority. And they do a really great job of making it known that, Coach, we understand you're a human as well. It goes 2 ways. So, you know, we spend a lot of time together, team dinners, you know, or just, you know, bi-weekly check-ins, stuff like that. Those are all really great things that we kind of do to build those relationships.
And how important is it, or ultimately, what is the goal this year for the 24-25 softball, Red Devil softball team?
Yeah, I think, you know, we continue to build on what we have in the past. Like I said, we have upperclassmen that are going to be big for us. You know, and continuing to build a program and have another season that's going to, you know, pave the way for the future is you know, what we're looking to do.
And I know that, you know, you have all kinds of different classes, freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors, but is any spot open? Is there a spot open for anybody? Ultimately, you know, if there's a returner last year and there's a freshman that proves himself, like, is any spot open for anybody? Like, is there, you know, is there a competitive drive for each spot on the field?
Yes, absolutely. I tell every one of my recruits and every one of my returning athletes that, you know, you have to earn and maintain your spot. Whether, you know, you were an all-conference player last year or not, you have to, you know, show up every day and earn that spot and maintain it. So all 9 spots are up for grabs at this point, and come January, we'll see who fights for it.
And before we end this, is there anything you'd like to say to any, you know, recruits or women that are playing softball that are looking for any colleges to go to?
Yeah, you know, I would say Eureka is, you know, it's a gem, you know, and, you know, take the chance on us when we take the chance on you, and keep playing, work hard, and put your head down. So.
Well, Jewel, thank you for your time. You're watching the Eureka College Red Devils basketball halftime show here on ECTV.
Welcome to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub, owned and operated by brothers Bob and Mike Mayo. Wendy Puff is located in the heart of Eureka and offers a warm and cozy atmosphere with a friendly staff. It's a great place to relax and savor a delicious meal. Here at Wendy Puff, we have a diverse menu to cater to every palate. Whether you're looking to enjoy a family dinner, catch up with friends, or study for your next test or complete that homework assignment, Wendy Puff will provide you with a positive experience and great food. Come as you are to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, being a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is it's a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Did you know toner powder is actually powdered plastic, and Americans consume 100 million pounds of it each year? Epson Workforce Enterprise AM series printers are powered by simple, smart, and clean precision core technology, doing away with waste-making laser printer designs and parts that end up in landfills. So you can experience less wasting, more saving. Your Epson Business First partner is City Blue Technologies in Peoria, Eureka College's official partner for sustainable printing.
Feel right at home at Eureka's own Cornerstone Family Restaurant. All-day breakfast, roasted chicken, daily specials, and homemade soups, along with a friendly staff, are here to serve you with smiles. Come in and enjoy Cornerstone Family Restaurant.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
And welcome back here to Eureka College here on ECTV. My name is Andrew Schulte with my co-host Drew Donnell. Drew, what stuck out to you in that first half?
I think what stuck out to me is early on the pressure from Eureka was really, really good. Got off to a slow start though. I think it wasn't the worst thing we've seen considering that we got it back within 5 towards the end of the half. Pee Wee Brown with some unbelievable moves on defense and offense, had some really clutch steals at the end. Had that clutch and one as well, and I think it's going to be, the key point is going to be everybody pitching in, scoring. It can't just be, guys like Pee Wee Brown and Ray Banzamuna Jr. putting up all the points. It's got to be everybody pitching in.
Yeah, and as you said there, Imarion Bird had 7 points and Pee Wee Brown had 12. The next highest score was Ben Carter with 3, and then everybody else that scored only had 2 points. We need to get that depth scoring going. That depth scoring is going to be huge going forward in the second half. Another thing that's going to be huge, in my opinion, is we need to get that proverbial lid off the basket. As we were shooting 2 from 15 from 3, and then on the free throw line, we're 2 for 6. That's 4 free points that we should have had that we didn't take advantage of.
Yeah, and those free points really, at the end of the game, that come down to whether you win or lose, and that's why coaches are they harp on shooting from the line so much, because those missed points really come back to bite you in the end.
One thing that really sticks out to me as well is Amarier Wilson has 6 boards as a point guard. He's really bringing that energy.
Yeah, and that's why the Red Devils spent so much time on offense, is because Wilson was able to get a lot of rebounds on offense and defense, especially on defense, and was able to throw out some long passes.
As the Scots got the ball. Hill, who has 15 points already, takes a little mid-range over Wilson and gets it. As here comes Banzamuna throwing it into Wilson. Wilson taking the ball up for the Devils. We need to stop Jordan Hill as well going forward. He's got 17 points. We've done a great job of stopping Brown, who only has 5, but he's been setting those big screens for Hill to get open for 3, and he's shooting at a 75% clip. Brewer, down low.
And even though Zay Brown only has 5 points, he's still been very effective with setting screens so that Jordan Hill can get open and bang out threes, and that's something we got to limit when we're on defense.
Jump ball, Eureka retains possession as Wilson throws it into Brown in the corner. Brown finds Banzamuna at the top, finds Brewer on the wing. Brewer driving in to the free throw line, pulls it, and misses it right as Hill with the rebound. Hill bringing it up for the Scots. Hill working on Wilson, surveying the court, finds Maring. Maring on Bird. Back to Hill. Hill driving in. Step back. Finds Brown. Brown inside to Maring. Maring with a size advantage over Bird. He just does a little post hook and gets it to fall. See, like that, that's where the size advantage comes into play for this Monmouth team.
Yeah, that's where you got to try and run a double team right there, especially on the big man down low. Just work you over.
As Banzman drives in, finds Brown. Brown driving in, and he gets slapped in the wrist, and that will stay Eureka's ball. Monmouth with the foul. That is on Jordan Hill. And that's what Pee Wee will do to you. He'll drive in the paint and get you to cause foul and cause chaos. The next thing you know, you're in foul trouble. That's a big part of his game.
Yeah, he'll really make the defenders work him over. Or he'll work the defenders over, and they'll end up getting careless and fouling Pee Wee like we just saw there.
Bird finds it to Banzamuna. Banzamuna goes up against 3 people, gets blocked, and gets called for the travel. The fans do not like that, and Banzamuna has his hands up in the air.
That was not the best call. It looked like the Scouts knocked it out of his hand.
And I felt like he was just grabbing it to retain possession. But can't go back and overturn it. As here comes Taylor bringing it up for the Scots. To Hill. Hill working on Wilson. Hill surveying the court. Finds Greenman. Greenman over to Brown. Brown. And we have an off-ball foul, and it's going Eureka's way. I did not see what happened there, but that is on Jordan Hill. It looks like a charge. Hill with 2 early fouls in the second half, which is good for the Devils because he has been one of their best players. If we can get him into foul trouble, that will force them to take him out of the game, as they are doing right now and putting in Thomas. Wilson bringing it up for the Devils. Surveying the court. Finds Pee Wee on the free throw line. Pee Wee working on Thomas. Pee Wee driving in. Gets too far on the rim. Gets his own rebound. Goes back up. Trying to draw a foul. Nothing called there as Brown with the rebound. Thomas bringing it up for Monmouth. Finds Greenman in the corner. Greenman thinks about it. Kicks it to Taylor. Taylor driving in and tries to find Greenman, but Greenman moved up and he throws it out of bounds. But they're saying it was tipped off of Eureka. I believe they're saying it was tipped off of Marion Bird. And he does not agree with that call either. As Monmouth will retain possession underneath the rim. Taylor, the inbound. Throws it out wide. Back to Taylor out the inbound. To Maring in the paint. Who gets doubled. Finds Greenman out on the wing. Driving in on Brown. Back out to Brown. Taylor goes up. Post fade. Blocked by Brewer, I believe. I believe Brewer got a tip on that.
Marion looked like he might have got just a finger on it.
To Pee Wee. Wide open in the corner. And it goes in and out. That would have been a big-time 3 for the Red Devils. As Monmouth has got their lead up to 9 points.
Yeah, that 3 would have given them the spark that they needed.
And Zay Brown shoots a 3. And it was long. And there's a foul, I believe, on Greenman. It is, in fact, on Greenman. A loose ball foul there. And that ball is going Eureka's way. Jonah Hill checking into the game. Trevor Faith. Jonah Loft checking into the game for the Devils. As he finds Pee Wee on the elbow. Pee Wee to Wilson. Wilson driving in the lane. Kicks out to Marion Bird for three. And he gets the ball. We need that three-pointing shooter to be there in the second half. We need to get these fans going. Get that student section going. That builds up your momentum as a team on the court.
Huge three by Marion Bird.
But Brown driving in, and he just gets it to fall like easy money. Wilson pushing it up for the Devils. Finds Micah Brewer. Brewer finds Marion Bird in the corner. Thinks about it again. Driving in on the baseline. Kicks it out to Jonah in the corner, who loses it, and it goes out of bounds. That will be Monmouth basketball. We cannot be having turnovers like that going forward, especially if you want to stay in this game.
And especially when you want to keep the pressure on the Scouts defense.
As it looks like Coach Ship is having the Red Devils pick up full court man-to-man, keep that pressure going, try and force some turnovers, as we did force 6 turnovers in the first half. Kicks out to Meering for three. Long, but he gets his own rebound, driving in. There you go. And he gets a charge foul called on him. As this place erupts as he goes straight into Pee Wee Brown, I believe that was, under the rim. That is a big-time foul on a big man right there. And now they're taking him out and putting in Flynn. Flynn comes in for Meering. Wilson pushing the ball up. Wilson surveying the floor. Finds Marion Bird, who pulls a deep three. Misses it left. Rebound Thomas for Monmouth. Thomas pushing the ball up the court for Monmouth. Surveying the floor. He's slowing down the clock here. Trying not to have the Eureka cause so much chaos and pressure, where we've seen them really thrive. Taylor with the ball in the wing. Flynn, it looked like he was going to set a screen there, but decided to pull away. Driving in. And that ball is blocked. Oh, they called a foul on Wilson.
I don't agree with that one, as it looked like that was all ball right there.
And that sends Taylor to the line for 2 free throws.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka. Locally owned by Mike and Bob Mayo, Wendy Puff offers a unique variety of pizzas, appetizers, salads, and desserts. Wendy Puff is open Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9, and Fridays and Saturdays are from 4 to 10. Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub at 112 South Main Street in downtown Eureka. They also offer online ordering at wendypuff.com.
As Taylor goes 1 for 2 there from the free throw line, and Marion Berg got that rebound. Kicks it out to Wilson. Wilson's going to bring it up for the Devils. Jonah at the top of the key, surveying the floor. Working on Brown. And Brown gets a hand on that, and it goes out of bounds, and it stays Devils ball. As we're saying here, we need to take advantage of these opportunities here. We need to keep the pressure going, but Monmouth's going to try and slow down the clock because they don't want Eureka to force that chaos where they get so many turnovers. Because, as I said, Monmouth turned the ball over 9 times. That's 3 more times than Eureka in the first half. If we can keep that chaos going, the second half will go very well. Because it looks like the ref's having to talk to Zay Brown and Jonah there. Wilson surveying the court, trying to throw it in. Goes out deep to Micah Brewer. Micah Brewer surveying the court. Bird with the screen. Brewer drives in. Strong with it. Fade away. Too long. Bird with the rebound. Goes up and gets the putback to go. Those second chance points are going to be huge on the offensive glass.
Well, we mentioned that Pee Wee Brown and Ray Banzamuna Jr. can't be the only people that can step up in this game, and Marion Bird is filling their shoes doing just that, as so far he's playing a great second half.
Speaking of Ray, we need him to get going here, as he had a big game on Saturday, and he hasn't done much today. We just need everybody to get going, as that is a foul on Eureka. And Monmouth will retain possession. It looks like it was on...
Looked like there's some questionable calls so far, as it looked like the...
Marier Wilson got the foul there.
Didn't even look like Wilson fouled him that hard. It looked like more that he just tripped on his own.
Thomas driving in on Wilson. Could not get the layup to go. Good rebound. Bird pushing up for the Devils. It's a fast break opportunity here. Pee Wee gets a loose ball. Goes up.
Pee Wee Brown with the and one.
His third and one of the game. Bird lost the dribble there, but luckily Pee Wee was right there to clean up Bird's almost turnover and put it up, and it works out in the Devils' favor. That cuts the lead to 5. But like I was saying earlier, Red Devils have been having trouble shooting free throws. as Jost Harvey checks in for the Red Devils. He checks in for Marie Wilson. And it looks like Jacob Gonzalez checks in as well for Micah Brewer. Here comes Pee Wee to finish off the and one. And he knocks it down, cutting it to a 4-point lead for Monmouth. Taylor bringing it up for Monmouth.
It was his full court defense set.
As Harvey gets on him early. Harvey sticking with Taylor the entire way down the court. They found Brown as the student section gets loud here at Eureka. Greenman finds Brown down low. Brown on Brown. Zay goes in on Pee Wee. Zay, spin move. Throws it up, misses it. Great defense there from Pee Wee as his hands are always active in the paint. And Thomas fouls Gonzalez as the student section erupts here. This is the momentum we're talking about. We need this momentum going forward. Keep that pressure going. Keep that pressure going.
Some of the baseball guys over there are trying to fire up this crowd here as trying to give more momentum for the Red Devils here tonight.
As Monmouth makes substitutions. Jonah tosses it into Gonzalez. Gonzalez bringing it up here for the Red Devils. Scanning the floor. Finds Harvey. Harvey gets a screen from Bird. Gonzalez looked like he got bumped. Oh, no, they blocked the shot and it stays Eureka's ball. They need to capitalize right here with momentum on their side. Gonzalez taking it out. Looking to find Pee Wee. He's got to get it in. And that is deflected out of bounds by Jason Huber of Monmouth. And there's going to be a 30-second timeout called by the Eureka Red Devils. So what do you think going forward here needs to be the game plan?
I think the game plan is we can't only look for Pee Wee Brown, as we just saw that on the inbound there. Gonzalez was looking for Pee Wee Brown the whole way. We got to be looking for everybody on the floor, and guys like Amarion Bird, who didn't have that great of a game last game, who are stepping up this game. Those are the types of players you want. Players that leave the bad games in the past and put their head down and get to work going forward. And I think keeping the pressure on defense and getting those boards is really the most important key. Guys like Wilson who will get those offensive boards, that's also important. Following your rebound after your shot. And I think really abusing the pressure down low on offense is also key. Trying to tire out those big guys, and hopefully you get a foul off of that and get some more extra points from the line. And also, like you said before, Scholl, is that we also need to make sure we're knocking down those free points at the line.
And this is where your best players are going to have to show up and play right here. Down by 4 to a good Monmouth team, and everybody's out there tired. This is where you need those guys to show out. And you need those depth. As Gonzalez throws it off the back, and he makes it work. He throws it off Taylor's back.
No, you didn't.
He threw it off Taylor's back, got his own ball, and he made the bucket. What a play there from Gonzalez.
Oh,
Heads up
shades
basketball.
of Mamba.
Wow. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe something with the score table. Wow, what a play by Gonzalez.
I mean, that's just a play you don't see at the D3 college level, let alone the college level at all.
Just a heads-up play by Gonzalez as Monmouth trying to respond. Flynn has the ball on the top key, finds Brown on the back cut. Brown going up, gets fouled. Looks like by Harvey down there, got him on the arm. Zay Brown going to the line for Monmouth. Zay Brown has shot 1 for 3 from the free throws from the line today, so not the most ideal for him, but good for us at Eureka. His first shot going up here. And he leaves it short.
That student section again, really getting in Zay Brown's head. They got into his head his first trip to the line.
He is now 1 for 4 from the line. And here he comes in the second shot here. I just can't get over that play from Jacob Gonzalez on the out-of-bounds play.
I mean, like you said, that's just high IQ, knowing where you're at on the court, and knowing the situation, too.
Zay Brown knocks down the second shot as Jacob Gonzalez bringing it up for the Red Devils. Finds Harvey on the wing. Bird setting a screen for Harvey. Harvey driving, finds Jacob on the top of the key. Gonzalez dribbling in, finds Pee Wee. Brown to the top of the key, surveying the court, finds Bird. Bird's thinking about it, surveying the court, dribbles, puts it on the ground, tries to drive in, loses his handle. Thought that there should have been a foul there. Banks bringing it up for Monmouth. Kicks it over, finds Flynn. Flynn, pump fake, got Jonah in the air, shoots the three and knocks it down. That extends the lead to 6 for Monmouth. Gonzalez finds Harvey on the wing. Bird sets a screen for Harvey. Gets double teamed in the corner. Bird's open. Bird does not pull it. Instead drives in. Tries to hop step. Loses his dribble again. And here comes Monmouth. As Jason Huber goes down hard as two Devils went in to try and block that shot. He goes down hard over there on the baseline.
And looked like Amarion Bird was trying to do a little too much there, as, like you said, hesitated when it looked like he had a clear shot at a three, try to go down low instead. We've seen that a couple times from tonight where he tries to go down low, tries to get a little too fancy, and ends up getting the ball stripped away. Now that's one thing you can't do, especially when you're in the situation the Devils are, when you're trying to get back into this game, get your first lead of the game, is can't hesitate.
Yeah, you can't be dribbling into three people like that. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to force them to collapse and he can kick it out for an easy three. But in situations like that, we have to be taking care of the ball. We have to be safe.
And it's reasonable what he's trying to do. He's trying to overwork the defenders down low, knowing that they're bigs, and that's what you want to do. You want to overwork the bigs, get their stamina low, but like you said, when there's three guys down there, it's not reasonable. You can overwork guys, you can try to go down low in the dirty paint, but it's got to be reasonable. And it looked like to me that those last two were not reasonable, as it looked like he was borderline triple teams.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. You should have just took that open shot three right there. He's been good from downtown today.
And it's all about being confident, especially from downtown.
As Sam DeJesus checks in for Amarion Bird. And it is Huber at the line for Monmouth. Yeah.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Cornerstone Family Restaurant of Eureka. Locally and family owned for nearly 25 years by Michael and Donna Sweeney, Cornerstone Family Restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. They're open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dine in, carry out, or order online. Cornerstone Family Restaurant is located on Center Street on the west edge of Eureka. Get more information or order online at cornerstone-family-restaurant.com.
Huber knocks down both those free throws. Now Red Devils have the ball. DeJesus has it on the elbow. He finds Pee Wee Brown cutting, loses his handle. Harvey gets it. And he throws it off Gonzalez's head, and that will be Monmouth's ball. Just an unfortunate turnover there for the Red Devils. We cannot be having that. As now Monmouth takes possession. After those two free throws, that extends their lead to 8. We need to go on a run here like we did earlier. We went on a 8-point run in the first half. We can do it again. Goes it into Taylor in the backcourt. Taylor surveying the court. Harvey on Taylor. Taylor on the wing. Gets a screen from Flynn. Uses the screen. Drives in by the free throw line. Finds Brown on the outside. Zay Brown working on Pee Wee Brown. Takes him into the paint. Has that size advantage really coming into play right there. And we have a foul. I believe that's on Pee Wee Brown. An unnecessary foul there from Pee Wee Brown, as him and Brown were getting into it going down the court. Monmouth takes possession.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, as Zay Brown was getting all up in the face of Pee Wee Brown, and Pee Wee Brown was just trying to not really have any of it, trying to get Zay Brown off of him.
It went both ways. I feel like they should have let that one play out. As Dylan Loxton checks in for Pee Wee Brown, and Andrew Coker checks in for Jonah.
They do say boys will be boys.
Zay Brown throws it in for Monmouth. Finds Taylor. Back to Zay Brown. Over to the corner. Banks has it. Looks down below to Brown. Coker on Brown. Out to Flynn on the top of the key for 3. Misses it short. And they give up an offensive rebound for Taylor. And Coker is caught reaching in on Taylor, trying to go for that ball. And now Monmouth's in the bonus here, so it's going to be a 1-and-1 opportunity for Monmouth. As Taylor goes to the line.
This is like how we talked about in the opening, where, you know, in the second half we can't let these unnecessary fouls go the opponent's way. No reason that the Scouts should be at the line right now, just getting caught lacking, really.
Well, going forward, Pee Wee Brown and Amarion Bird are both out of the games. Eureka's top scorers. The question is going to be who's going to step up for this Red Devils team and score whenever their two top scorers are out of the game. Coker has the ball, looking for Loxton. Coker just throws it to Monmouth. Tries to get it out of the stance. And it is a foul on Andrew Coker. That will send Huber to the line. And that is his third foul on Andrew Coker. Huber for the 1-and-1. And Coach Chip calls a timeout, not liking what he's seeing.
Yeah, he does not look happy, as the Red Devils have been playing pretty sloppy around these last 2.5 to 3 minutes.
You are watching ECTV. We're going to break right now. Stay tuned for more second half Eureka College basketball.
Did you know toner powder is actually powdered plastic, and Americans consume 100 million pounds of it each year? Epson Workforce Enterprise AM series printers are powered by simple, smart, and clean precision core technology, doing away with waste-making laser printer designs and parts that end up in landfills. So you can experience less wasting, more saving. Your Epson Business First partner is City Blue Technologies in Peoria, Eureka College's official partner for sustainable printing.
Feel right at home at Eureka's own Cornerstone Family Restaurant. All-day breakfast, roasted chicken, daily specials, and homemade soups, along with a friendly staff, are here to serve you with smiles. Come in and enjoy Cornerstone Family Restaurant.
Welcome back to ECTV as Monmouth leads Eureka 50-38 with 11:32 to go. Monmouth in the bonus, and that will have Jason Huber at the line for the Monmouth Scots. As after that Andrew Coker foul on that rebound attempt there, as Huber had possession and Coker got him on the wrist. Here comes Huber's first shot on the 1-on-1. Gets it to go. But yeah, somebody needs to step up here, as both of our top scorers are out of the game at this moment. So we need somebody to step up and take over that scoring role. Second shot from Huber falls. Gets a lucky bounce there as it hits the front of the rim and rolls in. Gonzalez taking the ball up for the Devils.
And it's like you said, I mean, you're only as good as your weakest player, and right now Eureka needs everybody to pitch in right now.
Harvey has the ball on the wing. Gets a screen from Coker. Doesn't use it. Drives in. Gonzalez on the wing. Looking baseline. Finds DeJesus in the corner for three. Oh, it rolls out. Good look there from DeJesus, as he almost got that one to fall. That would have been a big three for the Red Devils. Cut that 14-league point down. Brown out to Flynn. Flynn to Huber. Back to Flynn. Flynn working on DeJesus. Backing him down. Backing him down in the paint. Goes fade away. Gets it to go off the glass. As Monmouth is stretching this lead out. Gonzalez bringing it up to Coker. Coker thinking about it. Has Brown on him. To Logston. Logston driving. Logston to the hole. And does not get it to fall. As here is Taylor bringing it up for the Scots. He's slowing it down. Finds Brown at the top of the key. Coker on him. To Huber. To Banks. Banks looking down low to Brown. Finds him. Brown working on Coker. Here he goes with the spin move. Goes up. And DeJesus with the block. That's a great help side defense. When we're facing bigger teams, that's what we are going to need. That great help side defense. Great play by DeJesus. Great basketball awareness.
Yeah, that's one thing we've been lacking, is help down low, especially with these bigger guys. Did they call a foul? Looks like they called a
foul on DeJesus. I thought that was clean. I didn't see them call a foul there.
Looked like we saw all ball from up here in the booth.
As Brown struggles from the charity stripe continues, as he is 1 for 5 from the line today. Big group substitution there for Eureka. In comes Micah Brewer. Wilson's back in the game. And Ray Banzmoon's in the game. And here comes Amarion Bird. In for Sam DeJesus. Here's Zay Brown's second shot at the line. At this point of the game, the Devils are going to need to make some shots and push the ball up the court fast and cause some chaos here. As he misses it again, but Monmouth gets the offensive rebound on the free throw. Dylan Logston with a big-time steal for the Red Devils. Gets it to Banzmoonza, who tosses it to Wilson. Wilson bringing it up, surveying the court for the Devils. Banzmoon with the screen. At the top of the key goes to him. Looking for Bird there. Finds Logston. Logston over to Brewer. Brewer driving in. Finds Bird on the back cut. Who lost it. And back out to Wilson and off Wilson's fingers and out of bounds. I bet we're going to see Monmouth really slow down here with 10 minutes left to go and already got a decent sized lead built up. But Eureka is going to cause some chaos here.
It almost seems like Eureka needs to slow down a little bit on offense. It looks like they're moving too fast for them to be handling the ball right now, trying to be one step ahead, and they're mishandling the ball and they're having these unnecessary turnovers on offense.
And that is a charge. Banks called the charge. Dylan Logston throwing his body on the line there. That is a big-time play from Dylan Logston, the Idaho native. And that gives the Eureka Red Devils a little bit momentum going forward. We need to take that and take advantage of it and go. Good play there from Dylan Logston. Smart basketball IQ. If you know you have a bigger guy having the ball on you, you got to take advantage of things like that. You know you're just going to try and use his body, and that's a great play by Dylan Logston. Logston's got the ball. Passes to Brewer. Brewer surveying the court. Gets it to Wilson. Wilson driving in. Finds Banzmoona. Banzmoona finds Bird in the paint. Kick out to Brewer. Brewer, corner three. Gets it to go. Gets it to go. Cuts the lead down to 13. As Eureka picks him up full court man-to-man. Brown taking it up.
Hopefully that three by Micah Brewer can ignite this Red Devils offense.
The charge by Logston into the three by Brewer. Get the momentum swinging back in Eureka's direction. As Zay Brown taking it in. And he misses the layup. Ray Banzmoona with the rebound. Finds Wilson. Wilson rushing the ball up the court. Kicks it out to Imani Bird. Bird misses it. Eureka being very physical on the glass. Hill bringing it up for Mama. Hill finds Brown. Brown to Flynn. Flynn working on Bird. Finds Huber. Huber over to Banks. Banks on Logston. Driving in again. And that time they get a block called on Logston. As Logston tried to do the same thing again. That sends Banks to the line. Shooting two out of the 1-and-1. Monmouth is now in the double bonus. What did you see there on that play by Banks?
I think it's the right call. I mean, the right idea, though. But I mean, at this point, you got to find, with down 13 now, you got to find any way you can to get calls going your way, especially when, you're pretty much outbodied in terms of size. So getting those, little foul calls to try and, get you back on offense and limit their time on offense. I don't mind that play at all.
No, great play by Logston. Trying to getting the dirty works of the basketball.
And you got him once to charge the play previous.
As Banks makes 1 and 2 from the line. Wilson bringing the ball up for the Devils. Finds Brewer. Brewer swings it over to Bird on the wing. Meering working on Bird. Finds Logston. Logston over to Bird. Over to Banzmoona. Banzmoona gets a screen from Bird. Over to Brewer. Brewer working on Hill. Wilson driving in. Kicks it down low to Bird, who had an opening but lost his dribble. He's going to go up and get the layup.
And one of Marion Bird.
Great basket there from Bird. That's a good way to finish through traffic, and that and one's going to light a fire in this Eureka crowd.
That's got to fire up Bird, as he's been struggling when he tries to go down low. Had the ball stripped from him back-to-back times when he would try to go down low, and that's a play right there that'll hopefully ignite this Eureka Red Devils team.
And that foul was on McNally, his first of the game. Marion Bird. The and one. Missed it long. McNally with the rebound. Working it up for Monmouth. Passes it back to Thomas. 12-point lead here for Monmouth. McNally over to Huber. Huber over to Meering. Meering working it. Passes it to Thomas. Thomas driving in. Good defense there from Logston. Great defense and a great board by Bird. Bird pushing up for the Devils. Bird working downhill. Over the corner for Dylan Logston, who swings it out to Banzamuna, who works in, drives in, misses the layup. As the ball's on the floor. And that ball is staying with Eureka as it bounced off Meering and went out of bounds. Good break there for the Devils. We need to capitalize right here.
Looked like that could have gone as a foul, but nonetheless it stays down.
Wilson.
In Eureka offensive territory.
Throwing it in. Finds Brewer. Brewer thought about it. Working baseline on Hill. Brewer down low to Bird. Bird gets it. Goes up. Misses the layup. Gets his own rebound.
His own board.
Goes up again. No foul call. Hill with the rebound. The fans do not like that call. Bird is on the ground. Gets up slowly for the Devils. It's 5-on-4 for Monmouth. Kicks it out in the corner for McNally. McNally pump fake. Driving in. Tries for the slam. Misses it. And it goes out of bounds. McNally rejected by the rim. And the student section is letting him have it. As Banzamuna throws it into Wilson. Wilson taking it up slowly, trying to get this Eureka offense to settle down. Brewer over to Bird. Bird to Banzamuna. Banzamuna working in the elbow. Finds Logston. Logston fade away, jumper. Oh, too strong. In and out. As Hoover with the rebound. Bringing it up for Monmouth. As their coach is telling them to slow it down. Slow it down. Thomas. Surveying the court, finds Huber. Huber over to McNally. McNally up to Hill. Hill working on Logston. Screen from Meering on the pick and roll. Hill wide open layup and he missed it, and Meering on the putback gets it to go. That's where that size comes into play. Gotta be able to box out and get those rebounds there. Wilson bring it up for the Devils.
And really the size has not really affected Eureka in terms of getting boards.
No, as we have been just as good in the rebound. Bird kicks over to Wilson. Wilson for three. Bang! Gets it to fall. As that cuts their lead down to 11. And it looks like Eureka's kind of picking them up half court as Pee Wee Brown's getting ready to check back in the game for the Red Devils. And here's Huber. Passes over to Thomas. Thomas working on Logston. Logston getting screened by Meering. Meering on the pick and pop. Thomas, and they're waving the shot off. It's on the floor. On the floor foul for Dylan Logston. But Monmouth is in the double bonus, and that Wilson Thomas to the line for two.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by City Blue Technologies of Peoria and Epson Distributor serving Central Illinois. Did you know that North America consumes around 100 million pounds of toner powder annually? This is the equivalent of more than 2.5 billion plastic bottles, 9.5 billion plastic bags, or 116 billion plastic straws. Epson now has precision core heat-free printing as an alternative to laser printers. Learn about sustainable printing solutions from City Blue Technologies at citybluetechnologies.com.
As Thomas makes both of his free throws to extend their lead back to 13. Wilson bringing the ball up the court for the Red Devils. Wilson surveying the court. Looks slow, finds Banzamuna on the key. Back to Pee Wee Brown in the paint. Pee Wee Brown out to Brewer. Brewer to Wilson. Bird with the screen. Bird for three. Bang! It is now a 10-point lead for Monmouth. Big three there from Marion Bird. That puts him at 17 points for this evening.
Well, Bird's been a little bit cold this second half, but he has knocked down threes when Eureka's needed him the most.
Pee Wee Brown tried to jump out and steal that one. Thomas gets it. Eureka has to be very careful on defense since Monmouth is in the double bonus, and we can't be having them go to the line for 3 points. Taylor driving in on Bird. Taylor gets too far underneath, and Thomas got the rebound, but bounced it off his foot out of bounds, and Eureka ball. We can't be as aggressive as we usually are in defense since we're in the double bonus, so we can't be giving Monmouth 3 points. but you can still be aggressive enough to force turnovers.
Yeah, you don't want to lay back completely and let them have the free bucket, but you still want to apply enough pressure, but also stay disciplined at the same time.
Be safe. Wilson, grab the ball, bring it up, and Coach Chip calls a timeout. This is ECTV. Stay tuned for more. We're going to send it to break.
Pizzeria and Pub, owned and operated by brothers Bob and Mike Mayo. Wendy Puff is located in the heart of Eureka and offers a warm and cozy atmosphere with a friendly staff. It's a great place to relax and savor a delicious meal. Here at Wendy Puff, we have a diverse menu to cater to every palate. Whether you're looking to enjoy a family dinner, catch up with friends, or study for your next test or complete that homework assignment, Wendy Puff will provide you with a positive experience and great food. Come as you are to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub.
I think this would be you.
And we are back as Monmouth has a 10-point lead with 4.5 minutes remaining in this game. As you see Coach Chip giving instructions to his team as they try and make a comeback here. 4.5 minutes, it's doable, but it's going to take a lot for this Eureka team.
I like what we've seen from guys like Marion Bird. Wilson's also been clutch as well. He's been, like we've said it 1,000 times this game so far, he's been all over the floor in terms of getting boards and was able to knock down a big three right there, and hopefully we can see him knock down some more of those shots, get him starting to light up on offense here. As you know, like we said before, we can't just have the same few guys lighting it up on the court.
Amari Wilson's stats won't show much in the box score, but his hustle stats are off the charts this game.
And same thing with Wilson too. I mean, creating a lot of chances on offense.
Bird has the ball, working on Flynn, tries to go up, and that ball, and Flynn is called for a foul as Bird went for the spin move and a layup. And Eureka is in the bonus, so he will be shooting 1 and 1. Flynn does not agree with that call at all. And Marion Bird to the free throw line. This is where we need to capitalize right here. These free points to get us within 10.
Yeah, that's right. You can't let these free points go to waste here. Need to capitalize right here.
Gets the first one to fall. With both these teams being in the bonus, fouls will mean a lot in this game going forward. Imarion Bird is having a great game. 18 points, makes this, it'll be 19. He only had 7 going into half. He's having a great second half. Flynn with the rebound. Goes 1 for 2 from the charity stripe there. 9-point lead for Monmouth. Taylor bringing the ball up. Brewer on him.
I think the objective has to be to keep it to a single-digit deficit here if you're Eureka.
Flynn pulls it for 3. Misses. Pee-wee around with the rebound. Pushing the ball up for the Red Devils. Pee-wee goes in. Tries to force a foul. Goes in on 3 people there. And now Hill. Back in transition. And Banzamuna with great hands to strip that ball from Hill as he was going up. Granted, it does stay with Monmouth, but that was great hands not to let him have that free 2 points and that easy layup right there by Banzamuna. Those are those hustle plays that don't show up in the stat sheet that really will win or lose the basketball game for you.
Well, we see Jacob Gonzalez come back in as he had a very nice heads-up play earlier, throwing it off the back of a Scouts defender. While he was inbounding it, was able to hit a fadeaway jumper.
Hill has the ball, working on Gonzalez, backing him down. Monmouth is really trying to slow down the clock here so Eureka can't get back in it. Hill surveying the floor. Gonzalez all the way up at the volleyball line. Hill finds it down low to Flynn. Flynn puts it in for the layup. Back up to 11. Double-digit lead now for Monmouth. Gonzalez pushing the ball up the court for the Red Devils. Gonzalez surveying the floor, finds Banzamuna. Banzamuna down low to Pee-wee Brown. Pee-wee Brown past Banzamuna. Banzamuna out to Brewer. Brewer to Marion Bird. Bird thought about it. Pump fake. Gets it around Banzamuna. Bird finds it down low. Gets a deflection. Gets his rebound and back in for 2.
Yeah, will bite you every time as they try to double team Banzamuna, and Bird was able to sneak down low into the paint.
And a carry call on Hill from Monmouth. He does not agree with that call, and it's going back to Eureka's way. And as you were saying, that double team came off of a fake screen by Marion Bird that he was going to set on Banzamuna. And that was a perfectly
the Monmouth bench can't believe it. We hardly nowadays ever see a overhand call.
To the corner for Brewer. Brewer to Marion Bird. Bird, mid-range. Misses it long. Banzamuna with a good offensive rebound. Out to Brewer. Brewer for three.
Bang!
Big three-pointer there from Micah Brewer.
That's what we talked about, is everybody pitching in, and Micah Brewer's had some very clutch threes so far this game.
As Taylor calls a timeout. And that is a big three-pointer from Micah Brewer right there, as now Monmouth is using their timeouts. And it all started, honestly, with that offensive rebound from Banzamuna, who found Brewer, and Brewer just finished off the three. But the hustle play from Banzamuna there on that offensive rebound will get them going every time.
Yeah, and like we said before, the objective here is to keep it under a double-digit score, and right now they're on pace with that, as they're only down by 6 now with about 2.5 left. But yeah, it's really been all about the hustle that you've talked about, Andrew, and I think guys that have really shown hustle are guys like Marion Bird, Wilson, Jacob Gonzalez, really everybody, especially Pee Wee Brown. Pee Wee Brown's been all over the floor tonight on offense and defense, creating fouls.
And I will say Eureka has that never give up mentality, because earlier in this, with like 12 minutes to go, they were down 16 points, and now they've cut that lead down to 6.
And it really looked like that they were going to get killed the way they played the first 5 minutes of the first half.
You have to. Soon coach got on them a little bit for those fouls that they did not need to be taking, especially while that got them in the bonus for Monmouth. As Thomas inbounds to Taylor. Taylor working on Brewer. Up to Hill. Flynn looking to set a screen on Wilson. Hill drives in a little. Shoots the three. Misses. Big rebound from Brown. Brown's pushing up the court. Finds Banzamuna. Banzamuna thought about a three. Down low to Brown. Pee Wee working on the defender. Spin move and gets blocked. And the student section is not happy with that call, as they thought they got risk. Monmouth slowing the clock down.
I think Pee Wee thought he should have gotten a foul there, and I can't blame him on that one. That looked like it was some rough contact there.
Beautiful spin move by Pee Wee in the paint as well. Hill finds Flynn. Flynn thought about a three. Blows by Bird. Goes in for the layup. Misses. Beats his own rebound. Loses it to Brewer. And there's a foul called on Flynn as he was going down. That should send Brewer to the line. And here it is again with the free throws. We need to knock these down. This would bring it to a 4-point game, as we are both in the double bonus. Flynn with his third foul of the game. Brewer, a very good free throw shooter for the Red Devils. He just had that big three as well. His confidence is going to be up.
He's had a couple of big threes this game and a couple of big plays on defense too.
The Washington, Illinois native bangs the first one. That cuts the lead down to 4 or 5. Brewer trying to cut the lead down to 4 right here with this free throw, and gets it to fall. Nothing but net as Eureka pressures up on
that full court defense.
And it works out.
Stolen by Brewer.
Brewer tries to pass it down low. Oh, gets tipped by Monmouth.
I mean, you got to appreciate the hustle by Micah Brewer.
And Taylor working on Brewer, trying to navigate this Monmouth offense. Finds Flynn. Flynn working on Bird. Back to Taylor. Taylor working on Brewer. Screen by Flynn. Bird steps up. Brewer back on, and the foul is called on Micah Brewer. And the student section is letting them have it.
And I don't blame them. There wasn't really much contact there, and I mean, especially with the foul that should have been called against Pee Wee Brown. That's just not a good call. There wasn't much contact there from Micah Brewer, and you know, it's kind of like baseball. Calls got to go both ways, and I mean, you could argue that some of these calls have not gone both ways.
Taylor misses the first one, as it looks like Wilson checks back into the game for Gonzalez. Eureka needs a big defensive rebound right here, as it looks like they have Zay Brown and Thomas down there in the paint for the Monmouth, for the Scouts. Taylor for a second free throw, finds it. Banzamuna into Wilson. Wilson pushing the ball up.
You got to play faster if Eureka with
a minute 10
winding down to a minute.
Pee Wee Brown in the paint. Goes up on the spin move. Gets the foul call, misses the and one. Two big free throws coming up right here for Eureka. To cut
these are crucial points that Pee Wee needs to knock down. He struggled at the line so far this game.
This would make it a one-possession game if he makes both of these. Right now it is a two-possession game with Monmouth up by 5. Making it a one-possession game would be huge for the Eureka Red Devils. Pee Wee Brown's first attempt. Finds the back of the net. Pee Wee, unbothered by the situation. Been here before. Third in the SLIAC last year in points per game, averaging right around 20 points a game. Second free throw. Rolls out. Bird fighting 3 Monmouth players to get the rebound. Monmouth ends up with the ball. They find Taylor. Taylor slowing it down for Monmouth. Under a minute to go here in the second half. You know Monmouth is going to take their time here. But Eureka does not need a foul yet. Not at all. Taylor.
No, they don't. They just need to put a bunch of pressure on Monmouth right now.
Taylor kicks out to the corner. Finds Huber. Huber misses the 3. Banzamuna with a rebound. Wilson pushing it up.
Gotta hurry up here.
Finds Pee Wee. Pee Wee, baseline. Goes up for the layup. And the foul is called. Pee Wee Brown back to the line. He is so good at drawing those fouls when he gets into the paint. Pee Wee Brown with 16 points today. These are 2 huge free throws for Pee Wee and the Eureka Red Devils as a whole. This will cut it down.
Even if he makes one, it'll still put him within one possession, but I think even just being down by 3 isn't enough. Pee Wee needs to knock these down.
And the first one's up by Brown. And he gets it to go. Takes a deep breath up there.
You have to be as aggressive as possible.
And Coach Chip calls a timeout. This is going to be a very good last 30 seconds, but we have to be very aggressive, passive-aggressive on defense because we can't get in those fouls and send them to the line with a chance to extend it from a one-possession game to a 2-possession game. Having it be a 1-possession game the rest of the way out will be a big key for the Eureka Red Devils.
Now, do you think Coach Chip called a timeout to kind of settle down Pee Wee, knowing that he's been a little cold at the free throw line?
I think that he called this timeout to more so for the defensive purpose of the game and giving them a game plan going forward for Pee Wee to make this free throw. You have to have faith in all your players. So I think that going forward, he's telling them what they need to do on defense because an interesting factor here is 30-second shot clock in college. There's 31.7 left on the clock. So Monmouth will have to take a shot here. So we don't need to foul right away. If it gets sub 10 seconds, sub 5 seconds, foul. But right away, you can try and get a steal. So that's where that passive-aggressive comes into play. First whistle comes out for this timeout.
And whether he makes it or he misses it, you have to be aggressive for the board and you have to be aggressive on that full court defense without taking an unnecessary foul.
Pee Wee Brown getting himself composed to go back to the line here for the Eureka Red Devils. It is 62-59 with 31.7 seconds left. Monmouth out in front. Pee Wee Brown getting ready for a second shot. The shot is up. And it falls! 60-62.
Huge points by Pee Wee Brown.
And here comes the trap. Trap on Taylor. And they foul him. And Marion Bird called for the foul. I will say he did have a little push off there of Taylor.
Looked like, I don't know, it looked like he over-exaggerated that head bop a little bit.
And that'll be the third foul on Bird.
That's what Coach Chip is saying, is that he's moving his head.
He does not like that call. Coach Chip does not like that
and
call.
I don't blame him either. I mean,
he is letting them have it. Taylor to the line for Monmouth. If he makes one, still a one-possession game. Makes the first one. You can really hear the student section getting into this game right now. Monmouth not having anybody down low. They're getting ready for that defense just in case he does miss. And he connects on both. Timeout, Monmouth going forward. So now we're down by 2, and this brings up an interesting progression for the Eureka Red Devils. How do you want to go about this? Do you want to in my opinion, you'd want to get a quick 2 or 3 to give yourself more time to force a turnover on defense to get the ball back quick.
Yeah, it's got to be quick as possible, and I think whether they make a 3 or make a 2, the Scouts are either way going to try to have as much possession on offense as possible to run the clock down. But what do you think, Andrew? Do you think if Eureka makes it here, whether they make it or miss it, do you think that they're going to try to foul right away?
I think they will let them inbound the ball and see if they can get a steal right away. If they can't get that steal right away, they're going to foul them. Send them to the line for 2. I mean, that's how you got to be, because there's still 30 seconds of game clock left, which is not a lot. But if you can force that steal in the first pass or first 2 passes, and then you're golden. But if you foul them right away, that just sends them to the line. It's in the double bonus. If it was in the single bonus, it would be a different story.
I think personally, if they knock down a 3 here, regardless, I think they have to try and foul right away, especially if they knock down a 3, putting it within 1.
Monmouth not pressuring up on Eureka, as Banzamuna going to inbound it to Wilson, and Hill stepping up on Wilson right now. Wilson pressuring the ball at the floor for the Red Devils. Wilson surveying the floor. Got to make something happen here. Finds Banzamuna. Wilson at the top of the key. Over to Brewer. Brewer for a corner 3.
Yay! Micah Brewer, give me the hot sauce.
Micah Brewer with another big 3. Have a game, Micah. Have a game. Timeout called. That gets everybody riled up. Student section's going crazy. Big shot. Big time play from Micah Brewer, the Washington, Illinois native. 14.3 on the clock.
I think if there's a player of the game for the second half, it's got to be Micah Brewer. I mean, he's been so clutch and automatic.
Listen to that student section going in on them as they're running along the baseline. Gets it, traps him in the corner, and he is fouled.
That's the right play there. Like we said before, I think they had to, like you said before, Scholl, I think they were going to try and see if they could get a steal right away. They didn't, and they had to foul him right there. Right move, considering that, they're only down by 1 here. Big time play. Stacey King says big time players make big time plays.
Kyle Taylor at the line. He made both of his last ones for Monmouth. First one up, finds the back of the net. Either way, it's still going to be a 1-possession game, but you have to ask yourself, does he miss here and force?
I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to miss it and get an extra 2 points.
And makes them both. Timeout by Monmouth. 3-point game, 66-63, 12.2 on the clock. This is going to be another situation like it was on the last timeout. You could go for a quick 2 and just foul again, but at that point, you have Micah Brewer, who is on fire right now.
I was just about to say, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to find Micah Brewer in the corner.
But you have to assume that Monmouth is going to be shadowing him left and right down here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they double-team Brewer, especially with how automatic he's been.
I also wouldn't be surprised if Coach Chip puts in Ben Carter, who is known for his 3-point shooting last year, granted coming off an injury, but I wouldn't be surprised if they put in their best 3-point shooters now.
I think you have to keep Brewer in here just because Ben Carter really, he knocked down 1 3 earlier today, but he's also been sitting on the bench most of the game. He's probably cold, not that loose. I think you got to go with Brewer here. Even though they might be all over him, I think you got to try to create time and space for Brewer.
This will be the biggest play of the game. As you can see, Coach Chip drawing up a good play. Bet you Stefan. If you find Brewer the ball, you're going to want to find him in the corner, as that's where he has been mostly hot.
That's where he's made most of his threes today, really, is in the corner. That's his special spot.
You have to think that this momentum that Eureka has gotten right now will translate well into this next play. As Banzamuna is taking the ball out. Banzamuna finds Wilson. Wilson taking it up. 10 to go on the clock. Wilson surveying the floor. Drives in. Trying to look for somebody. Finds Brewer. Brewer. 3 seconds. Timeout called by Pee Wee Brown. That's a smart play.
That's a smart play by Pee Wee Brown. Trying to inbound the ball from your own end, your opponent's end.
Getting that timeout off right there with 3 seconds left, it's not ideal to have 3 seconds left since they couldn't get anybody open there. But it gives you an opportunity to make a play happen out of this inbounds play.
3 seconds. 3 seconds really could be just enough time for Micah Brewer to get a shot off here, because you have to go for 3 now. There's not enough time for get a quick 2. You have to go for 3 here.
And anything could happen, you know.
Anything could happen.
And he's been feeling himself. He's been really hot, doing really well. As now he's up to 13 points for the Red Devils. As going into half, he had 2 points. Or he had 0 points. So now he's been cooking in the second half, and he's feeling himself. You got to let that confidence play. And that confidence could go off on other players around you. If they see you're confident, they could get that extra confidence for themselves going forward.
That's right. I really think Micah Brewer is not only fired up his teammates, he's really fired up the student section that we've got over here.
This is a big play of this game, the biggest play of the game. This is for the tie.
This is a big play, especially if they can knock this down here. This would be
interesting. They have Brewer taking the ball out. Probably to find him out that inbound play. Pump fakes to Pee-wee. Finds Marion Bird. Bird goes up for 3. Oh. This is short. Monmouth wins. What a game. Red Devils lose a heartbreaker by 3 here at home to Monmouth. What a game.
Wow. Another heartbreak loss for the Red Devils, but I mean, have to respect they didn't give up, they didn't quit, and you have to respect the performance by Micah Brewer. I mean, unbelievable for him to really not be getting that much action on offense, and then all of a sudden just bangs out a couple threes and bangs out a 3 that got them oh so close to their first win of the season.
Yeah, and Eureka was down by 16, they stayed with it. This City Blue Technologies broadcast booth, Eureka College basketball, is made possible by City Blue Technologies, a leading Eston dealer serving Central Illinois, Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka, and by Cornerstone Family Restaurant in Eureka. My name is Andrew Schulte, this is Drew Denow, and our next broadcast is tomorrow night with girls basketball at 7:30. This is ECTV.